everybody, to the Purified podcast.
I'm your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Chris.
Hey, it's your boy, Pokemon Trigger, please. We're back at it again.
Oh, he got the shiny. All right, hold on. Can we get a back-to-back here? Yeah! We got it!
All right, welcome back, Pokemon Go players, to another episode of the Purified podcast. Today is, I forgot the day actually, February 7th, 2024. I am your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Chris.
Hey, it's your boy, Pokemon Trigger, please. We're at it. It was a good day, and yeah, excited to chat it up and talk about Pokemon Go.
Also, 4-year anniversary, y'all. We're here after 4 years.
Sure.
I mean, it's been incredible, really, to have actually continue on this podcast for such a long time. We really couldn't have done it, without everybody just listening to us. I feel like if we would have just gotten a few people here and there, we probably wouldn't have gotten this far. But I know people are out there. They want to listen to us. They want to, get to know what our thoughts is about our beautiful, beautiful game. But we're once again here, talk about Pokemon Go news, updates, and ranting about the game, because we love the game just as much as you do. Real quick, as always, don't forget to check out the Pokemon Professor Network, which is where we are by the Purified Podcast. Wonderful people to work with every single time. However, it's not the only shout out we're going to be doing today, but do check them out. There is the wonderful person that actually helped us celebrate today, the podcast stuff and everything. So I'm going to shout out on Twitter, Beast Graphics, which I say that he has been amazing to work with. Every single time I actually need something graphic-wise, he has been there. Check him out. Make sure that if you are needing of some graphics for either streamings or anything, that is the guy for you. The beautiful, logo that we have right now, which actually you can see it right here. I know it's a little bit small right now, but that has been done by Beast Graphics again. Wonderful time, wonderful thing here and there. So, but yeah, it's amazing. So I wanted to celebrate. Technically, tomorrow is kind of like the day we actually did podcast for 4 years. However, potato is 1 day extra, So, but at the same time, the actual, the very first podcast episode that was actually go live was on February 18 of 2020 on our podcast services fees. So any other places like Google Podcasts and iHeartRadio. But then we actually streamed it the week before, and then, maybe it took me a while to actually get it out on podcast service fee because everything needed to be perfect. Mm-hmm. So our anniversary is technically somewhere around February 8th, but it's still 4 years, to say the least. It's been amazing ride. We're not going anywhere, guys. We're still going to, talk about our favorite game that, we want to rage for,
Oh, my.
But yeah, we got a bunch of things actually planned to talk about today. I was hoping for a little more I was thinking of buying those confetti things and everything, but then I realized then I have to actually clean it up, and I don't want to do that at this hour.
That'd be horrible.
I know, right? But yeah, we'll celebrate throughout the episode today. We do have a bit of news to cover, some things to talk about, of course, last week, since we always do. Our thoughts here and there. Once again, Twitter being Twitter. And just in general, reminiscing for 4 years, really. I could have done this in the 5-year mark, but I feel like it's good because we've been going at it for such a long time already that I feel like we need a little bit of an upgrade. Again, the logo will be on our feeds from here on out. You can look at it everywhere, anywhere podcast services feeds would actually be. So I always do love the logo. In the end of the day, I mean, I can't complain it because I always imagine the Purified podcast with the shadow form and the Purified form for it. So, what is the best one to really talk about when it comes down to that, right? I'm pretty sure you can tell by now. So, that is the little teaser that, of course, I gave the last time, about 2 weeks ago or something. But Shadow Lugia XXD. XD001. Hey, we can also be a scuff podcast for the rest of the week if you wanted to, but that's fine. But XD001 from Gale of Darkness, and of course regular Lugia, always in my mind have been the yin and yang kind of deal when it comes down to it. And again, Beast Gaming's actually brought that to life because I couldn't have asked for probably a better logo. And then little things here and there that we're going to do for this year to see how we can expand our reach to all of you, so that way you are always in touch, and we can create an amazing community regardless. But enough about that. We got a bit to talk about before we actually get to anniversary stuff. So let's start with our hauls. I mean, this week has been an interesting one. We had Community Day Chansey, Raid Hour, Spotlight Hour, the new Dragon event, New Year event, or I guess the new Lunar Year event, I think it's called, or New Year Dragon event, whatever the case may be. All of that is happening when we have some news after that. So Chris, I know I've talked for the last 5 or so minutes, so I guess it's your turn to let us know what's going on.
All right. So recapping, I didn't play too much until Chansey Community Day. While I didn't expect it to be like good, I knew I wanted to grind extra large candy. So I'm definitely glad that we got to play. And before the Community Day, I got a Shadow Shiny Murkrow from a grunt, so that was cool. Bunch of shiny Chanseys, even a shiny extra large somewhere in there. Then randomly got a shiny Meowth sometime in the middle, and that was kind of weird.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
fun. I think everybody got an all shiny that day, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And then I got a Shadow Shiny Articuno, so the day of the Shadow Shinies. And then I go plus right after the whole Dragon event started. I go plus a shiny Grubbin. I don't know. Today I was lucky enough to get a Hundo Latios, the first one I got, so very happy about that. And then I teased this to you. Had something that I didn't think would ever happen. I was playing on my girl's account and my account, and we both got the same full odd shiny, Wild Spritzy.
Oh, wow! All right.
Yeah, I looked down and I see that she got the shiny. This was after I already clicked on it, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." She got a Spritzy, and then I looked down. I'm like, "What?" I looked back and forth, and I'm like, "Huh?"
Was it the same CP and everything?
Yeah, it's the same Pokemon.
Oh, okay. So
824 CP.
So it was a wild spawn then. Okay.
Yeah. Definitely cool. It's my third one, so I gotta hit people up.
I'm gonna go ahead and just be like, double shiny,
double shiny all the way across the sky. It was crazy, man. My heart was beating.
That was exciting. I mean, we did have some exciting times in the raid hour today too.
Yeah, raid hour was insane, especially the first 2 minutes.
I know, right?
That was.
It's usually the first 2 minutes that everybody gets something, anyways. But just for context, my roommate Chris and my friend Amanda, or our friend Amanda actually, they went. We just carpool to do the raids for Mega Latios. And I think we started off with a crappy raid, and then the next raid, Chris gets the Hundo. which I kind of spoiled it because I know that, he was going to tell us anyways.
Oh no, I already said.
Okay, cool. I must have just like blank at that moment. And then my roommate actually gets the shiny, and then gets a shiny Turtonator from the research. So I'm like, bruh, first the Latias on last week, and now the double shinies right here. And it's like, I can't with you, so. But yeah, it's just one of those days in the end of the day. I didn't get anything crazy. Last week itself, I mean, I guess shiny wise, get the 29 shinies with the 2 Hapinis. So
Yeah, and I still haven't hatched a Happini. I only have like 2 of the Comday eggs left, so
yeah. Also, I keep forgetting. I don't know when did I actually talk about the Sableye or anything. Oh yeah, it was because of the Latias. I did get a shiny Bombardier. I'm happy about that one. Before the event started, so it's actually pretty good. I'm glad that I finally got one. It's kind of one of those, like, if I get it, I get it. If not, well, too bad, so sad, but it is funny to actually get it anyways. I also got a shiny Vanillite from Research, which I'm really happy about that one, because I know it's a must-have for a lot of people anyways. During Community Day, also another shiny Scyther. So it's just like the 10 one that I have, I think. And then just, some traits here and there. No Hondas aside from the two Honda Chanseys from Community Day. One was a wild spawn, which I didn't know when it was. The other one was for the special research. So Chris was like, what the heck?
Gatekeeping. Yeah.
Even though we were hanging out, I was the one actually catching, not checking. What do you want me to do? You want me to check every single one every time I catch? Like, bruh.
Yeah. Sure. No, I'm joking.
But yeah, definitely a wonderful week so far. This week has started crazier, uncrazier. I don't know. Anyway, so but that's our hauls, which, it is what it is when it comes down to it. You get some shinies, you don't. That's how it is. But we did have, of course, we talked about raid hour. We did about, 10 raids or something like that. We missed you too many. Don't worry. We started the lunar event, which is the new one of those new year lunar universe or something like that, which is the year of the dragon, just like we mentioned in the last podcast. And we started the global challenge of 1 billion nice throws before the end of the event, with new spawns and everything. So we actually got to the goal right before raid hour started today. And that was probably interesting because it was like getting more information and more stuff at the end as I go about. So if you guys don't know, we unlocked some, special spawns for the while for the event for the next 4 or so days that are left. We also have new Pokemon in raids, and that's about. Oh yeah, and Community Day moves. So let me see, because I keep forgetting when or how those things are. So infographics wise, we do have. Let's see. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Well, shout out to League Dog, by the way, on Twitter. We do have the featured attacks for the Pokemon's Flygon, Garchomp, Altaria, Salamence, and Noivern, all knowing their Community Day moves at the point. In 1-star race, the unlock was 1-star Jangamo, right?
Yeah, I'd say Jangmo.
Yeah. And then in 3 stars, we have Salamence, which it is a potential shiny because of his Mega. But of course, you're not doing the Mega, you're just doing the regular one. We also have some wild spawns added to the pool. We added Bagon, Gilbolt, Darumaka, Axew, Dino, Tyrant, and Failings for some reason. So it's actually pretty cool. I mean, I love the Failings in the wild. Tyrant is a must for a lot of people. I know they're still looking for the shiny anyways. The other ones, of course, already had the Community Day spawns out there, so it's kind of like, it is what it is. But here's the thing. Twitter is already tweeting when it comes down to things. They're complaining, like always. They'll be like, oh, this is what we get. This is a letdown. It's like, do you expect? And actually, I'm gonna actually refer to this because it got to the point where I'm just like, what the heck, you know? And shout out again to another Twitter creator, Pogo Central. It says, end quote, why are people moaning about the unlock bonuses? What were we expecting? Mega Rayquaza in the wild? Mega Garchomp and Mega Salamence as a common spawn? Effing Eternos in Tier 1 race or something like that? Guaranteed shiny Ayamno for everybody? Like, even himself sometimes can, you know, be like, but why and how? What did they expect to think that we're going to get through this unlock? It was kind of obvious if you actually looked at it at some points. But did you think that we're gonna have like, you know, Dragon Arceus in the wild or something like that? It's like, what?
I will say I expected a little bit more out of the unlocks. Tyrunt's really cool. I will say that. But the way I'm looking at it, I'm kind of disappointed that the spawns are taken away from Skrelp. I really would have liked to have more chances at hunting for shiny Skrelp.
Yeah, but it's part of the pool.
That, the spawns are fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's dragons. Again, we already had probably 90% of the common wild dragons unlocked in the ways that, you know, either had the community day moves or they had, you know, something happening that it just makes them as valuable as it is before. So, you know, Dino and Tyron and all those Pokemons, yeah, their shinies are still pretty cool and everything. I know they had those kind of things, but still, it's like, it just doesn't make sense to complain about something that was more than enoughly obvious that there was gonna be the type of unlock. It was just that it was an added bonus to what we already had. So, but it is how it is, you know. I'm getting invited to more raids, so no, don't mind me. Don't mind me. Not you, Chris. Yeah, but it is what it is when it comes down to it. Yeah, I think that the new spawns are good. The saturation of raids could be a little bit better because now that we have a Salamence in the tier 3 raids, Trampo is going to be a lot harder to find for that reason because now they're actually going to populate in the same thing. That's technically the only complaint I have because that actually makes sense since it's a brand new shiny Pokemon that everybody wants, and of course now it's more populated through all the other tier 3 raids in the pool. Yamno doesn't have a shiny, but still, you know, it's still a cool Pokemon that a lot of people still want hundos and everything, so it's still not a bad thing. I wouldn't say rate it for like the whole time, but still, you know, it's one of those things.
Yeah. In my opinion, it's more about the shiny chances for something like Drampa or the other 3 stars. But I do understand the people that want to get the 4-star Jangmo before the Com Day.
Yeah. So we definitely think that regardless of how it may be, I think the event itself is actually a good 9+ rating when it comes down to it. So we'll see how the days go in the end, but I think that it's gonna stay like that. I love dragon types. I love actually having the chance to even catching more than a few dragons here and there. I'm always excited when I see a dino in the wild, even though it had community day move or something, you know. It's one of those things in the end of the day. So there's a bonus for everybody, and somebody actually pointed it out too. It's like there's also bonuses for like trades and extra large candy grind and everything. So it's not the only thing that just makes sense in the end of the day, you know. So it is what it is. Let's be more hyped about things, guys. Don't expect the impossible, and really just don't expect anything at this point. So still, but yeah. So let's get into the news, y'all. Let's get into our research topics of the week. It's going to be half news, half miscellaneous news because we're definitely talking about our anniversary here anyways. 4 years is how we do it. How we go. How about Chris? How about you talk about the first event of the year?
All right.
The year. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised when they announced part of this. So the first event coming up is I mean, like after this event is going to be
the next event. We're just gonna say that, okay, yo.
Yeah, Pokemon Go's Carnival of Love event, which I think I don't remember it before. It might be a new event or just a different wording. Because like I know we kind of call it like the Valentine's Day event normally. So for the first time in Pokemon Go, you'll be able to encounter shiny Oricorio. If you're lucky, they always specify.
Mm-hmm.
So Tuesday, February 13th at 10 a.m. To Thursday, February 15th at 8 p.m. local time. The event bonuses are going to be an increased chance of receiving candy extra large when walking with your buddy. So make sure you got anyone you want extra large candy for as your buddy. And then two guaranteed extra large for evolving Pokemon. That is insane. Oh my gosh, that is actually crazy. And give your Furfrou a fresh trim. For the duration of the Carnival of Love event, you can change the trim to the heart trim Furfrou. So especially if you have a shiny one and you want it to have the special time sensitive trim, this is your time. If you don't know how to change it, you click on it and then you tap its summary and you tap the change form button and it brings up a menu of all the available trims. And you just got to click on the heart trim. And it will cost 25 Furfrou candy and 10,000 Stardust. The wild encounters. The following Pokemon are going to be more frequent in the wild. Literally all the Oricorios in their respective regions. So the I know I've taken a dance class and I still don't know how to say some of these.
Okay.
The Bale style Oricorio in Europe, Middle East, Africa. Pom Pom in the Americas. Pau in African, Asian, Pacific, and Caribbean islands. Sensu in Asia Pacific. And of course, all of them can be shiny now. Flabebe with the different colors will be available. Red flower in Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Blue flower in Asia Pacific, and then yellow in the Americas. And then if you're lucky, you'll encounter the white flower and orange flower, no matter which region. Snubble, Skitty, Love Disc, all the Flabebes, all the Oricorios, Furfrou, Stuffle, and Quaxley for whatever reason. And then if you're lucky, you'll encounter Roselia. That's kind of weird.
I mean,
The field, yeah, I mean, at least it's rare and not all over the place. But the field research task encounters Snubble, Roselia, Spindo with a heart pattern, my favorite, Clamperl, Love Disc, Furfrou, and Stuffle. So a lot of field research. I think we're both going to be hunting that Spindo though.
as much as rare as it is, I believe, yes, we will.
Yeah, it's probably we're only going to find like one or two a day, probably.
Yeah, most likely. Unless we they go crazy, but of course I want the four for more.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I already have two, but you know,
Where's my tray, brother?
yeah, I need one more. Collection challenge. So there's going to be a Carnival of Love themed collection challenge, and if you complete it, you'll receive XP, Stardust, and an encounter with Roserade.
Really not sure why
the
they actually
rarest.
picked that. Yeah,
Yeah,
unless they had community day moves, but that's about it.
yeah. If it had Weather Ball, that'd be dope. I do think it'll be fun for like the Catch Cup, but that's about it. I don't know how much you're gonna do with it. There's gonna be a new avatar item as well. The Love Disc tambourine pose. Yo, it kind of goes hard though.
Here's the thing: a lot of people are actually saying that there's just no sound. So what's the point?
You make the sound with your mouth. But yeah, I see what they're coming from. Oh my gosh. I mean, it is kind of cool to have like an instrument there because the only other thing close I can think is the air guitar, right? And you don't even have an actual guitar.
That's
for
what I'm
that.
saying. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my god. Continue.
That might. Oh yeah, there is more. Oh my gosh. Pokestop showcases. So apparently they're not even telling you what they are yet. But you know, just put in your biggest buddy, so you're still looking for the extra large.
Actually, that is.
Oh, we do know.
It's that's what it is. Your biggest buddy Pokemon.
Oh, any?
any of the buddy Pokemons you have.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
They do put an asterisk there though. Buddy Pokemon must be a great buddy or higher to be entered in the showcase. So if you want to put them in, you might want to start working on it now.
That's what she said.
Um, oh my. Yeah, hopefully I got some best buddies good to go. The only ones I know of is like Rayquaza, but I already know somebody's gonna put in like
Let me
something
actually
crazy.
check my buddies, because at this point I was like, what the heck?
You're like, uh-oh.
I mean, most of them like buddy 5, but still. I mean, I
Yeah,
got
because I think like Reggie
Rayquaza.
Gigas or
I
something.
have Cox. Like I said, I got a Groudon.
Ooh, yeah, maybe Groudon. Maybe Groudon would be
Groudon
good.
has a good. I mean, it doesn't. No, oh, my extra large Rayquaza.
Oh my gosh, the extra large dude.
Oh, I actually got to make my buddy right now. When
That's
does this
actually a
event
good
start?
idea.
It's like next week.
The 13th.
Yeah,
So you got 6 days
I'm gonna have
from
to do
the
some
recording.
puffins then. Yeah,
hmm
I'm gonna have to do some
After
puffin work.
that, yeah, that's definitely fun. It gives you more variety for sure.
It's only
Um,
one, but it's
I
like
I am curious though, like people putting in little small buddy Pokemon compared to like the legendaries.
that will be
I'm
fun.
curious how that's gonna be
That
balancing. Yeah,
I'm not sure, because there's a
maybe
lot
they
of
just put
people.
chaos.
Yeah, a lot of people. Well, yeah, this is actually just like chaos in certain scenario. What I'm thinking is gonna happen is, like, a lot of people are saying is like, this is the worst because I don't have a buddy Pokemon. I'm like, well, you know that the buddy system has been out for like 4 years, right?
Ever.
So
Yeah.
it's like we started the podcast and we already had the buddy feature, but
Yeah.
so
It's crazy.
that's what I'm saying. It's like, a lot of people are just gonna, I want to try to say that it's the benefit of the doubt, because you kind of given us like a week in advance for this kind of thing, but regardless of how it may be, you just gotta get ready. It's like, that's how the game works. So
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be very interesting to see, definitely, because I want to see how many different Pokemon people put in. Other than that, we have exclusive bonuses for trainers in Brazil. If you happen to be in Brazil or you're going, you can look forward to earning twice the XP for catching Pokemon during the Carnival of Love in the Brazilian Carnival. Interesting.
interesting.
Yeah. Paid timed research for the US $1 or equivalent in your local currency. You can get a event exclusive timed research that comes with. Oh, dude, I'm paying for this. Stardust, XP, 2 incense, and 5 encounters with the Spinda with a heart pattern. Bro,
The
easiest dollar of
chances,
my
I
life.
know. Yeah, I think so too. That this is
If, dude, they could have just gave me one and I would have paid, man.
yeah, that's actually the same thing for you, that for me. But definitely a well worth it if you are hoping for a good shiny. Now, of course, take it with a grain of salt, y'all. You may not get it. Just be careful.
Oh, I will say, yeah, right underneath too. You don't have a crazy amount of time to do it either, because it says the research must be completed and rewards claimed before Thursday, February 15th at 8 p.m. So I think we get these on like February 13th. So that means you only have like 2 days.
Yeah, definitely.
ASAP.
ASAP, yes. And buy the ticket, gift the ticket, whatever the case may be for y'all, because it's going to be interesting one. I'm sure a lot of people, and here's the thing, a lot of people are just going to post their shandos at that point. So,
Dude, if we both do it, come on, somebody's getting it. Come on.
let's see. When is it ends right before the next podcast, I think.
Really?
Actually, no, it ends one day before then. So if we want to, we could save the encounters for the podcast and see if we actually get it.
Oh my gosh.
You think
If you want to, I'll be crying.
we'll figure it out when we get to that point. But yeah, so that is the Carnival of Love. I don't know why I say it like that, but I am excited for a few things. Of course, the Shiny Oricorio is definitely a plus to actually have them release. I know somebody out there is gonna complain and be like, "Well, why isn't global?" I'm like, because you're supposed to have rare Pokemons, y'all. Like, it doesn't change the fact, The Flabébé could have been shiny. I would have been like that too if they actually do a double shiny release at this point. But
Yeah, I definitely could have seen that coming out too.
yeah, but I'm sure they have other plans for it. We're gonna have the Kalos store, and that's when it's gonna be. I'm going to the Kalos store if that ever happens, bro. It's like I will.
Oh my,
That's like no questions
the
asked.
eternal.
The eternal. But yeah, so that is the next event. Interesting and short, and it's also Valentine's Day, so make sure that you go out with your loved ones. Yeah, good luck with that. Anyways, next in the news, we have Incarnate Form and Emerus, right? Yeah, Emerus debut in Elite Race, which we already knew this was happening from the dump of news that we had for sure. But now we have a little more information. Not as much really to talk about, but still, information that a lot of people want to know. Just to remind everybody, this is actually happening Wednesday, February 14, 12 p.m. At 12 p.m. local time. Oh, yeah, 12 p.m. local time, 1 p.m. local time, 5 p.m. local time, and 6 p.m. local time. This is elite rates for Incarnate Form and Maros, meaning that you will only be able to do a few if you go out on those hours. Plan accordingly if you do want to think about wanting to do this raid, and of course, be ready with counters if you don't only have a few people with it. It shouldn't be that much to take it down. Probably 3 people at best, maybe, with good counters, if anything.
Yeah, I agree.
But there is a bonus for completing the elite raid battles, which this is something that they was supposed to be part of the feature, and they kind of took it away because it was kind of broken. Broken in the sense that it wasn't working as intended. But once you successfully complete an elite raid battle against Incarnate Form and Maros, various flying and fairy type Pokemon will appear around the gym that hosted the raid for 30 minutes. If you guys don't know, Drowsy. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I gotta put like a Drowsy next to me or something, like a picture of.
Yeah,
Drowsy
you gotta have a Drowsy emote.
Yeah.
Drowsy stickers.
I actually have a Slowpoke emote, actually. I can learn the Slowpoke emote. So that works too, because I always yawn anyways. It's like appealing on me. Anyways, the featured spawns for the 30 minutes will be Clefairy, Jigglypuff, Snubbull, Tailo, Woobat, Emolga, Rufflet, Fletchling, Spritzy, and Swirlix. I mean, I guess I did mention flying type, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But that is interesting, and at the same time, I hope that it works as intended, because it kind of wasn't with the Hoopa one thing, and that took actually, since then, we never really had this special spawns for elite raids, even with the Reggies.
Yeah, the closest thing we got is the community day ones, and the community day ones aren't even like that stressful, I don't think, because they only have one Pokemon spawning.
Yeah, and I think that's what kind of made the feature be work done since then. So since they now know that the feature can work because of the whole 30 minutes thing, just adding a couple extra spawns to it is just basically like adding fuel to the fire. But so hopefully they work. But again, it's just one of those things that we have experienced that it doesn't. Some people the first time around that we did elite raids with Hoopa or Hoopa and Unbound, we were seeing legendary birds actually spawning, and some people actually claimed that they did see those kind of spawns, but the radius was too small from where the spawns were usually taking place. So we had the radius, I think it was like I want to say maybe not even 100 meters, it's like 100 steps from the gym itself. And then the spawns were like all the way into like the other side of the parking lot or something like that. So we were like, if we just step out of the radius, the spawn disappears and we can't claim it. So we're like,
that's crazy.
Okay. So we were just a little confused when it comes down to that.
They're like, oh yeah, you can see them spawn, you just can't catch them.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, just make sure that the elite race can only be done in person. So you can only do that in the end of the day. So yeah, that's elite race Emeros with the extra added stuff that was intended from before. But yeah. So how about you let us know what our beautiful dates are for next month or quarter?
Well. We're looking at the next season's community days, and that's going to be Saturday, March 16th, Sunday, April 7th, Community Day Classic, Beldam, bet. Uh, that's just a guess, by the way. But Saturday, April 20th, a lot of memes, and then Sunday, May 19th. The community days aren't the only events on the horizon. Here's some more dates to look forward to. Sunday, March 3rd, Saturday, April 13th, Sunday, April 28th, and then Saturday, May 11th. So we definitely got a lot going on the next 2 months.
Yeah, well, actually, the next full-on season of community days at that point. And that's actually the whole 3 months when it comes down to it. Well, we are about to enter the non-big event period, the spring season, where there's not going to be a Go Fest, and there's not going to be a holiday, and it's not going to be a Go Tour. So, so we're about to enter a time, unless they plan to be like, hey, we need like 300 Safari Zones for some reason. Anyway, but yeah, it's interesting to say the least. Each one of them is just dates specifically. Battle days, maybe some of them maybe either elite raids or raid days. Very interesting to say the least, but we have a lot of back and forth Saturdays and Sunday community days, so do as you may will with those, and good luck, y'all. So, but yeah, that's that. Thank you, Chris. And then we do have another piece of news, but that we'll save it to our PvP options right there. Let's talk 4-year anniversary, y'all. So, if I continue on to thanking you guys, I'm just going to continue ranting on for the rest of the day, because it's just one of those things. But let's reminisce a little bit about the 4 years that we've been doing this. We did post a poll on Twitter. Well, more of a poll. It was kind of questions that we wanted to know. So let me go to that real quick, if I remember correctly. There we go. All right. So, just like mentioned before, we have what we celebrated our 4-year anniversary this week, and on episode 191, we're also getting close to 200 episodes, y'all. We asked 2 questions on Twitter, and we'll basically, we did get a small engagement from everybody. However, we did get at least a response. Now, one of the first questions was, what was your favorite episode so far? So, Chris, I'll ask you this, and then we'll have a response from our viewers here. What has been your favorite episode so far?
Favorite episode? It was probably episode 10, when we got Speediest Chief on.
Yeah.
Just because I was kind of starstruck.
Yeah.
I will say the guest ones are some of my favorites, just because it is very interesting to meet people that are in the community and have a lot of different things to say about the game.
Oh, yeah. I 100% agree with that response. I think that having our very first guest being somebody who's now so well known in the PvP universe is it's really insane. Yeah. He's still a good friend. We talk time to time. He has moved on from, the kid in the block.
He's a big boy now.
To Silt Arena champion. To to commentator for the Play Pokémon circuit, and it's amazing that his growth was there. But also, shout out to all our guests for the last 4 years. I know I'm only naming a few right now, but I definitely think that we had Jersey 2, we had Summertime Loving, Lane from the Good Morning Johto, Ken and Adam from our partners with the Purified Podcast and Professor Network. We do want to actually get as many guests as possible this year. So I'll be reaching out to all the other podcasters. We'll be reaching out to maybe a couple people here and there that we have met in the community in the last year or so, or even the last 2 or 4 years at this point. Even as the Pokemon turns, David has always been an amazing friend to talk to. And then just bringing those people back, even if we want to, maybe we'll sneak peek some guests next week or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get there. But yeah, as when it comes to favorite podcast episode, or at least our favorite episode so far, boy, I believe that even though we have had our ups and downs, I believe every episode for me has been my favorite. I know that's kind of like a vague question to the question itself, but I believe that just doing this is one of my favorite things each week. Even if we take a break or anything like that, it's still one of my favorite things to think about. It makes me keep going for the game, So, but of course, we did get a response from Pokemon Crossroads, which also was a guest in our podcast, so we appreciate that. He did answer the first question as what was the favorite episode so far. He said the episode I wasn't on, so he said he didn't like the episode he was on for some reason.
Some people just don't like hearing themselves.
Yeah, no, I understand. I remember his episode being a little bit longer than I thought it would be, but that's because he had a lot to talk about, and I'm glad that we can feature him at that point because he's a lot in behind the scenes. I mean, he is kind of like the professor for the circuit, so not just play Pokemon itself, but the regionals, the internationals, and all that stuff. He actually goes to those events, makes sure that he is the judges for either TCG or VGC, I think one of those things in the end of the day, and he just works so hard when it comes down to it. So shout out to the Pokemon Crossroads. Definitely a wonderful guest that we had. And then the last question that we actually asked 2 questions. So as we know, this month is Pokemon Day celebration because we are in the month of anniversary for Pokemon 2. So we asked the question, what are your predictions for Pokemon Day? Now, we kind of gave our bare answers last week, so we can either continue on with those answers, but at the same time, Pokemon Crossroads actually answer, Pokemon Day will be acknowledged by the Pokemon Company and celebrated. People will be happy and accept the day. I guess. Kind of Pokemon Day, it just makes sense to me. I think it's February 27 anyways. So that's an interesting take. But more than anything, I think that we are going into spoiler season and leak season and what is to come for the main series games, the spin-offs, all the other mobile games that we have. And it's not just Pokemon Go, Pokemon Sleep, Pokemon Masters, Pokemon Unite, and so on and so forth, every single game that's out there. So definitely my predictions, I still want a good remake of the Gen 5 series if they are able to make it, or just wait a little bit longer until they actually redefine it anyways. Mm-hmm. Or, which actually this is a brand new entry to my thoughts, and thank you for Samantha Loving for actually saying this, remakes of the XD Gale of Darkness or Coliseum games out there. Either remakes or reports, because I would love to play those games on the Switch console when it comes up.
With the updated graphics would go hard, man.
And probably less glitches too, but So, but that would, we do have, I think, we don't have a GameCube online service yet for the Switch.
I don't think so.
We have the Nintendo 64, we have the Game Boy Advance, proper NES and NSN or something like that, whatever the case may be. But yeah, it's to say the least that I believe those kind of things could happen if they have already worked for years, and it makes the period for podcasts a lot smoother for that reason. So, Chris, what about you? What do you think that Pokemon Week, Pokemon Day is gonna actually bring us?
I don't know if I'm on the train of thinking that Black and White is gonna get announced.
Right.
I would definitely see another Let's Go game coming out, though, something relaxed but nice to play. I don't know how much I believe the leaks. somebody jokingly said, "Oh no, neither of these leaks are Let's Go Pichu," so I don't believe it. And I think that's kind of funny. But in the games, Pichu doesn't really have an attacking move for a bit, so
Yeah.
maybe they decide to go a different route. I think the strongest prediction I could make is that they're probably gonna make another Let's Go game for Johto. Which honestly, I think the art style for Let's Go definitely fits very well for Johto, I think.
I think so too. I also believe that even though the art style could be similar, I know that they can probably redefine, knowing that the game already runs as smooth as it is, with the mechanics that Let's Go Johto or Let's Go Pikachu actually had at that point. One last thing, of course, we have to mention that we're at the end of the era of the Nintendo Switch, which is one of the most best-selling Nintendo consoles of all time. Even beating out the old consoles that are being reigning supreme from then, mostly because it's been many years since the console has been out. It's been 6-7 years now since the Nintendo Switch. We know that this year is a big moment for Nintendo. Knowing that that's the case, Pokemon will have its big moment corresponding to those announcements in the end of the day. So we may even see a Nintendo Direct first, and then after that we'll see the Pokemon Presents, and then be happy about those regardless. And one last thing, and I know that this is actually something that everybody wants, unless they're thinking for the next console at this point. Give me the all GBA Pokemon games in the Nintendo Switch Online right now, or by the end of the announcement. Because I really would love to be able to play every single console or every single generation on the Switch. Even if it doesn't allow us to, trade between home or anything like that, those features could be added on later once either they make the remakes or anything like that. So that way we are able to just have fun, And of course, make sure that all the ticketed events are actually in each one of them. So, yeah. Some predictions here and there when it comes down to it. So if you guys want to know more, or actually let us know if you want to know your predictions out there for Pokemon Day, let us know. It would be amazing. But definitely that. Now we have gone over for the list of over the year, the guests that we have actually had in the last year or so. And of course, shout out to anybody for the last 4 years again, because it's been amazing regardless. And yeah, pretty much just moving forward from there. So at the same time, what are basically our plans after 4 years? Well, first and foremost, we're always going to be playing Pokemon Go. We're going to talk about it. We're going to podcast about it, whatever the case may be when it comes down to this game. But for the podcast itself, I know there's been times where I said that we needed to work on a few things to actually upgrade. I really do want to get this year going for the podcast itself and how we want to expand our reach for everybody who listens to us and anybody who's going to listen to us in the future. We definitely want to expand it. So we, aside from our small little introduction to our new logo here, maybe some changes here and there as time goes on, as that year goes by. But we definitely want to interact more with you guys. So we'll try to post more on our social medias. We'll try to post more on other platforms like maybe TikTok or, YouTube Shorts or anything like that. The podcast itself, definitely, it's always been going to be in podcast service fee, so you can always listen to those. YouTube and all that definitely is a hit or miss out there here and there, because even editing it for 1 or 2 days is not enough to really put everything at once. So, but because of Twitch new ruling, we are able to multi-stream. So maybe we'll actually start multi-streaming, so that way whoever is not able to listen to us in YouTube or in Twitch form, we can listen to us in YouTube form, and then the VOD will be there, and it'll be a lot easier for me too, anyways. But so definitely something that I've been messing around with. So hopefully, maybe by March or something, we'll actually have that ready. I know I'm giving myself a little bit less time. If not by the spring season or by the summer, we'll definitely have everything going there. And not by last least, I'll definitely be going to work in, or at least we'll be working on a Patreon if you really want to support us, again, you guys are not entitled or anything to support us. You don't have to give us any money or anything. We're not saying that. We will want to give you the best rewards that it is if you do, though. So I'll be working in that as much as I can. We'll give Chris everything that we can to make sure that we are ready for everybody. And if, of course, if you want to, interact with us more in anything, we'll be there. That's what we want to basically do. And then one day, my vision is to have a big meetup in one of the Go Fests and be ready to tackle on any type of adventure we have with our wonderful community out there. Once again, thank you so much, everybody, to always listen to us rant for hours on end. But yeah, any thoughts? Anything that you would like to add on, Chris?
4 years strong. It's crazy to think how many podcasts start and just end. It's definitely been fun. So I'm happy to keep it going. But yeah, looking forward to the future.
I know Chris and I, at least, this year our lives are going to change drastically when it comes down to different things. So also congratulate Chris that he'll be getting married this year. He's very excited, and then of course he's gonna leave me forever, So
oh my.
So I will only be able to see him in podcast days, man. Ooh. But I'll go out there and actually, I feel like Orlando. You gotta find us a good rating spot, brother.
Oh, easy.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, my friend already lives up there, so I'm sure he'll already know.
Yeah, just let me know of the good spots, and then I'll visit you on community days once a month or something. That'd be nice, right?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, those are our expectations. These are things that we promise, hopefully, to have for everybody to, really. Once again, I always want to say thank you to anybody who listens to us, because it's always motivating to know that no matter what we do, there is somebody out there for us. And that's what really keeps us going. So maybe another 4 years from now, maybe 5 years from now, hell, it could be 10 years from now. I mean, at that point, hopefully we're actually playing at that point. We'll figure it out from there, guys. So thank you so much again. Real quick, I guess we should probably get into this pace of news and topics when it comes down to it. So PvP section, get good, get wrecked. Here we go. Anyways. We had an announcement with the Pokemon Go, or it says, I should say, get Pokemon Go tips with edX, trainer tips, soft top, and a Speediest Chief during the Go Battle Day stream on Twitch. When is this actually happening? Let me actually show you. February 10 at 11 a.m. PST, which is 1 o'clock for us time, right? 2 o'clock. Okay, I know my time zones, y'all.
Thank goodness, I might be able to tune in.
Yeah. So when it comes down to it, each trainer says there's gonna be a lot of battle interactions with chat, answer questions, provide advice when it comes to Go Battle League. And during this time, of course, you have 4 times Stardust for win rewards. And when it comes down to it, the maximum amount of play or sets you can play per day will increase from 5 to 10 for a total of 50 battles from 12 a.m. to the entire 24 hours when it comes down to it. Go Battle time research available at no cost, and rewards includes various items and experience. So yeah, Chris, I gotta do something real quick, so you go ahead and give us our thoughts about this real quick. Okay, I'll be right back.
All right. So it's got two of my top people in Pokemon Go, trainer tips and Speediest Chief. If you guys like Pokemon Go, I think you're gonna like listening to them because they're very passionate about Pokemon Go. The other 2 players that are gonna be on are it's AXN, it's Axon, and Soft Tough. I always feel bad when I don't know players because I feel like I'm terrible with their name. I'm pretty sure it's Axon is one of the world champions too. So definitely very knowledgeable people. If you feel like you're lacking in the Pokemon Go PvP scene, definitely I'd recommend tuning in and just watching for 5-10 minutes and see if there's anything you can improve on based on how the champions play. Because even if you don't feel like you're learning from listening, a lot of the times you can learn from watching. Plus, you're gonna get a lot of goodies for watching. A lot of very prominent players probably in the chat too, memeing. But yeah, I think it's definitely something fun. I don't usually tune in too much to the Pokemon Go PvP scene, but this is one I definitely think I'm gonna tune into.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you very much there, Chris. Had to run real quick for something. So I'm glad. So yes, you were right actually about is NX is actually one of the world
Yeah.
champions from the previous world championships. Training Tips is definitely a fan favorite.
A household name.
A household name. Soft Top, definitely a. What if he was like either a good Twitch PvPer? I haven't really checked her content out a lot, but we'll definitely be able to check it out now. So, and then of course our friend Spirit Chief. Even seeing him, like what we talked about him already, but even seeing him in, the play Pokemon and even just Pokemon Go Live out here, it's insane. That man has gone places, brother. I love it. So,
Yeah, I'm definitely happy for him, man.
yeah. And just like Chris said, you do get rewards from watching the stream. Make sure you tune in at least for 30 minutes to claim those rewards and then, get some good stuff. I believe it's some like TMs or something like that. But definitely something to keep in mind in the end of the day.
Yeah, I think I heard 10 fast TMs, 10 charge TMs, and a extra large rare candy. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what I saw on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that too, and so it's kind of nice to know that would be the case.
Yeah, I saw somebody make the joke. Oh, with 10 charge TMs, you'll probably get the charge move you want.
Yeah, well,
like maybe,
bro, I had like a surplus of like charge TMs and light TMs. I have not elite, but regulars, and I always have to delete them because I just do so much, You have a chance.
Yeah.
You have a chance. Hey, as the Pokemon turns, David is here in the chat. Thank you so much.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's always a chance. But yeah, so so I'm glad that's happening. I'm definitely gonna tune in if I have the chance. It's gonna be a busy week or weekend for me, anyways. So yeah, I think that's it. Do you have anything else to add to PvP texting?
All I have to say is I'm happy I'm gonna be in the primordial scene for my team this coming week.
You going
in
with
Charge
Mega
Bug we
Rayquaza
trust. No. That would have been cool though. It's not the primordial or whatever. That's what I type though for my team.
Yeah.
Like for the tag,
Right.
Instead of primordial, I put primal or something.
Primordial. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely a cool meta. We'll see what happens.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'll let you know next week, guys.
Next week it is. But yeah, so once again, thank you so much for everybody for listening. I believe we have had just amazing time and years throughout. The video that actually we did this week, our evolution logo, will be out on our socials later on this week. So just make sure that you tune in for that. We'll definitely, keep on going for anybody to always have a nice line. If you guys want more of the video itself, I'm actually thinking of extending it, not just for the 1 minute that I actually did it for, but with every guest we had everything that I can possibly think of that I actually add there, and then just hope for a longer video out there. So tune in for that sometime in the next few weeks, because it's not easy to edit anything like that. So appreciate the time for everybody doing it.
As the Pokeball turns, definitely knows about that.
Yeah. No, and he does it one weekly. So I'm giving myself at least 2 weeks to get it done. But once again, thank you so much to listen to the podcast, y'all. Don't make sure to check us out. And I don't know how to talk today. To any other podcast services feeds today. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, and all those places. If you can leave us a review, we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Follow our social medias. Myself at Pure Light Go, Chris at PChemNN, Trigger Please with the C at the end. The Purified Podcast, our logo will be there, of course, if you guys want to see it. You can always email us anything to the purifiedpodcast@gmail.com if you want to be featured too in the podcast. We would really want to feature you. Join our Discord. We'll be there. We'll be talking. Definitely something to to keep us in mind when it comes down to it. And maybe we'll expand our Discord more than ever, but we'll see how it goes. And then don't forget to check us out, purifiedpodcast.com, the Professor Network. With that being said, I don't know what to do anymore. Chris, after 4 years, take us away for the night.
Okay. It's been a wild ride. It's honestly insane how time flies. I think that I say that every single time we have any time there's an anniversary. Yeah. But it is really crazy because it doesn't feel like 4 years. Definitely excited. Happy that we started this wild ride. And it's a pleasure that you guys keep listening. It's awesome to keep playing Pokemon Go, and I'm always looking forward to what they have in store for us players. So yeah, we'll catch you guys next week where we're evolving, we're getting better, and it's going to be more news. So yeah, we'll catch you guys then.
Keep purifying them, everybody. Keep on purifying them, everybody. We'll see you guys next week. Keep on going. Have a good night, y'all.